welcome to our channel, Nessa and Sophie. If you guys have been following us for a little while, you now know that Sophie and I are here in Portugal and we've been having a blast sightseeing and exploring and having so many new experiences. But I wanted to take a little time off from doing that because I want to share this video with you guys because I know a lot of you have been sending me messages, asking me a lot of questions all about how to travel with your dog. Even while I'm here in Portugal and people find out that I have traveled from Canada, people are coming up to me and asking me how I traveled with Sophie, and they're so surprised to find out how easy it is and also how affordable it is. Today I want to share with you guys 5 easy tips for traveling with your dog in the cabin of an airplane from a first-time dog owner who traveled from Canada to Portugal with her 14-pound cavapoo puppy. Let's get started. Your very first step is to check in with which airline you want to travel with. If you check in with your airline, you're going to get all kinds of information on policies and requirements that they have that you must follow in order to travel with your pets. Most airlines require advanced booking as there is a limit to the number of pets allowed on a flight. There's also only certain seats available for people traveling with pets. Airlines also have a weight restriction as well. We traveled with Air Transat, which states that the weight of your pets plus their carrier must not exceed 10 kilos, and Sophie is 14 pounds, so she fits perfectly within that restriction. It's also really important too that you check whatever country or region you're planning on traveling to because there are restrictions on some dog breeds entering to certain countries. And lastly, I know a lot of you guys also want to know the cost of traveling with your dog. Traveling with Sophie with Air Transat cost me $100, so depending on your price point and what your budget is like, $100 was pretty reasonable in order to travel with Sophie, and a lot of people I've spoken to when I tell them it was only $100 to travel with her are very shocked because they thought it was going to be a lot more expensive. So if you're worried about price, $100 is what it was with Air Transat, but you can always check in with your airline and they'll let you know. After you've decided on which airline company you want to use, you now need to figure out if you have all of your puppy's vaccinations and paperwork up to date. You're going to need very specific paperwork to travel with your dog that you'll need your vet to fill in as well, and I'm going to let you know what we needed to fill out, and if you're traveling from Canada to Europe as well, you may have to fill out the same paperwork as us. Since we're traveling from Canada, we need to follow the rules and guidelines for transporting and traveling with dogs set out by the Canadian Food Inspection Agency. If you're watching this video and you're traveling from another country and you don't know who to contact in order to figure out what governing rules you have for traveling with pets, I would definitely recommend reaching out to a travel agent because they can direct you to the correct government agency who will then give you the correct information for entry into another country and all the necessary paperwork that you need to fill out. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency, or CFIA, let me know exactly what paperwork I needed in order to leave Canada and then enter Portugal. I had to get Sophie's vet to fill out a non-commercial movement document form, the one that was provided to me by CFIA. And this provides all kinds of information on Sophie, her breed, her vaccinations, her microchipping information, everything that's needed in order to enter into Portugal. And I had to have this form filled in within 10 days of our travel. And then I had to take it to CFIA in order to get it certified by them in order to travel with it. I honestly think that this is the most important step when it comes to traveling with your pets. This documentation is going to be checked at multiple stages throughout your travel. You need to make sure it's up to date and that you have filled it in correctly based on whatever your government agency says that you need to do. You also need to make sure that you also have every requirement that you have to enter into your destination country. So for instance, when traveling into Portugal, Sophie needed to be microchipped and then have a most up-to-date rabies vaccine proof as well. So every country is going to be different. You may need deworming going to another country. There's different requirements. So make sure you check in with that destination country through your government agency so there's no confusion and no issues. Now, once you have all the documentation and paperwork completed and up to date, you may also want to speak with your vet about any medication that you may need to provide during your dog's travel. With Sophie, I chose not to give her any medication to keep her calm or not stressed during the flight, just because I find she does really well with car rides and train rides. And also our flight was really late at night, so I knew she was going to sleep the whole time. time, and she just usually sleeps when she's lying down in her carrier no matter what. But if you're worried about your dog, and if you find that your dog may be stressed or heightened in unfamiliar situations, have a chat with your vet. They know your dog, they know what's best for them, and you can see whether medication might be a good option in order to travel with your pet. Sophie's now sleeping for our fourth step, but our fourth step is you need to make sure that your pet carrier is airline approved and that your puppy is very comfortable with it. Airlines will provide any kind of requirements for their carriers, but generally speaking, they should be the soft-sided carrier so that they can fit underneath the seat in front of you, be well ventilated, and your dog should be able to stand up in their carrier, turn around, and lie down comfortably. You also really want to make sure too, in the weeks leading up to your flight, is that you're training your dog with their carrier so that they're comfortable in it, spending a little bit of time in there, rewarding them with lots of treats so that it's familiar to them. You can also throw in something in there that's familiar as well, like a toy or a blanket, so that they have something that has both your scent and the dog's scent in order to relax a little bit more during the flight. Other airlines may be a little bit different. I know there's companies out there that make carriers that guarantee that every airline will accept them, so definitely do your research on that if you're worried about it, or contact your airline if you're unsure of anything. Now we're at the very last step, and the last step is the best step because it now means that you have made it through all the packing and worrying about documentation. You are now in your destination country, and this is now your last step of traveling and finally entering a new country and having new experiences with your dog. The last step is you now need to visit the airport veterinarian. Every destination country is different and every airport is different. Sophie and I entered into Porto Airport here in the north in Portugal, and we had to actually fill out a form at least 48 hours beforehand to notify the airport that we will be arriving and that I am traveling with a dog. If the airport doesn't know that you're arriving with a dog and the airport veterinarian isn't there, it may result in you staying at the airport for much longer than you need to. By providing this form and any documentation that they ask for, it ensures that the vet will be present at the airport at my arrival time. Definitely check in with your arrival country. You can go on the airport's website. They have a section on pets, and see if there's any little bit there that talks about having to fill out a form or any notification to let them know that you're arriving with a dog, and to make sure that they have a vet present at the airport. The airport vet is located inside of the baggage claim area, which is really convenient. The vet that we spoke with was phenomenal. She looked over our paperwork and made sure that we had the certificate filled in correctly, and also made sure that I had the rabies certificate and Sophie's microchipping information. I just had to pay a small fee to enter into the country with Sophie and sign a declaration form that I got to keep after, and that was all I needed to do. So it was really awesome how easy it was. Traveling with your pet does not have to be stressful, and it can be super easy. Take it from me as a first-time dog owner and first-time flying with a dog, and Sophie and I are here to help. Well, really, Sophie is here to sleep, and I'm here to help if you have any questions. It is definitely amazing to travel with your pet, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone that is able to. And Sophie and I have been having an absolutely amazing time here in Portugal, and we want to show you how easy and how not stressful it can be to travel with your dog. Sophie and I are going to be continuing our travels across Europe, and we're going to be heading to Spain in just a couple of days, and then over to France, and I am so excited. We're going to be doing so many new things, and Sophie's going to be staying in hotels. She's going to be experiencing a lot of things she's never experienced. So if you enjoyed today's video and you want to see more of Sophie's travels and also see how she encounters all these new things, I would definitely recommend subscribing so you don't miss a thing. Please send us any more questions you may have when it comes to traveling with your pets. I'll try and answer them, or I'll even do another video if I can provide more information. We've learned a lot, Sophie and I, traveling this first time, and I'd love to share more info with you guys too. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you again next time. Bye guys! If you guys would also like to watch our complete video showing you guys our day of travel from Canada to Portugal, I'll include the link for you guys down below in the description box. I know you guys are gonna love it.